Emily's father's temper had been escalating for weeks, and she knew she had to escape. The final straw came when he lashed out at her mother, and Emily knew she had to act fast. She packed a small bag and made a plan to leave under the cover of darkness. As she lay in bed, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled in her stomach. She knew her father would stop at nothing to keep her on the farm. The night was dark and silent as Emily slipped out of the house. She made her way to the barn, where she had hidden a small bag with some food and clothes. She took one last look at the farm, knowing she might never return. The wind rustled through the trees as she set off into the unknown, her heart pounding in her chest. The road stretched out before Emily, seemingly endless. She walked for hours, the sun beating down on her. She was tired and thirsty, but she didn't dare stop. She knew her father would send men to bring her back, and she had to put as much distance between them as possible. As she walked, she thought about her future, wondering what lay ahead. As Emily walked, she spotted a cowboy riding towards her. Her heart skipped a beat as she wondered if this might be her ticket to freedom. The cowboy, Jack, tipped his hat and asked if she was okay. Emily hesitated, unsure if she could trust this stranger. But there was something about Jack's kind eyes that put her at ease. Without hesitation, Jack pulled Emily up onto his horse and they rode off into the sunset. Emily felt a rush of excitement and fear as she clung to Jack's waist. She didn't know where they were going, but she knew she was safe with Jack. As they rode, the wind whipped through her hair, and she felt a sense of freedom she had never known before. As they rode, Jack asked Emily about her story. She hesitated, unsure if she could trust this stranger. But Jack's gentle manner put her at ease, and she started to open up. She told him about her father's temper and her desire for freedom. Jack listened intently, his expression sympathetic. As the days passed, Emily and Jack shared stories about their lives. Emily learned about Jack's childhood on a ranch, and he learned about her love of books and learning. They discovered they had more in common than they thought, and their connection grew stronger. As they rode through the countryside, Emily and Jack discovered they shared a love of nature and adventure. They talked about their dreams and aspirations, and Emily felt a sense of excitement about the future. She realized she had found a kindred spirit in Jack. As they rode, Emily couldn't help but notice the way Jack's eyes crinkled at the corners when he smiled. She felt a spark of attraction, but tried to ignore it. She didn't know if she was ready for romance, especially with a stranger. But she couldn't deny the way her heart skipped a beat when Jack looked at her. As they sat around the campfire at night, Emily and Jack talked long in the night. They discussed everything from their favorite books to their childhood memories. Emily felt a deep connection to Jack, and she knew she could trust him with her secrets. As they rode, Emily's father and his men finally caught up with them. Emily's heart sank as she realized she wasn't safe yet. Jack stood up to her father, refusing to back down. Emily's father sneered at Jack, but Emily knew Jack was determined to protect her. As they rode through the countryside, Emily and Jack encountered outlaws who threatened to harm them. Jack stood up to the outlaws, and Emily was impressed by his bravery. She realized she was falling for Jack, and she knew she had to trust him to keep her safe. As they faced challenges on the road, Emily and Jack had to trust each other to survive. They worked together, using their skills to overcome obstacles. Emily realized she had never felt this way about anyone before, and she knew her feelings for Jack went beyond gratitude. As they faced setbacks and challenges, Emily started to wonder if she had made a mistake leaving her father's farm. She felt overwhelmed and scared, and she wondered if she was strong enough to make it on her own. Jack sensed her doubts and reassured her, telling her she was brave and capable. As they sat around the campfire one night, Jack shared a painful memory from his past. Emily listened intently, feeling a deep connection to him. She realized that everyone had scars, and she felt a sense of empathy for Jack. As they rode, Jack reached out and gently brushed a strand of hair out of Emily's face. She felt a rush of excitement at his touch, and she knew she was falling for him. Jack smiled at her, and Emily felt her heart skip a beat. As they rode through a beautiful landscape, Emily and Jack felt a sense of joy and freedom. They laughed and talked, feeling carefree and happy. Emily realized she had never felt this way about anyone before, and she knew she was in love with Jack. As they sat on a hill overlooking the countryside, Jack and Emily had a deep conversation. They talked about their feelings and their future, and Emily realized she had found her soulmate in Jack. As they rode, Jack surprised Emily with a small gift, a beautiful necklace with a tiny horse pendant. Emily was touched by the thoughtful gesture, and she felt a sense of love and appreciation for Jack. As they sat on a hill, gazing up at the stars, Jack and Emily felt a sense of wonder and awe. They talked about their dreams and aspirations, and Emily knew she had found her perfect match in Jack. As they rode, Emily's father and his men finally caught up with them. Emily's heart sank as she realized she wasn't safe yet. Jack stood up to her father, refusing to back down. Emily knew Jack would do anything to protect her. As Emily faced her father, she stood up for herself and told him she wouldn't go back to the farm. Her father was furious, but Emily stood her ground. Jack supported her, and together they faced down her father's anger. As they faced danger, Jack protected Emily with his life. He stood up to outlaws and her father, refusing to back down. Emily felt a sense of gratitude and love for Jack, knowing he would do anything to keep her safe. As Emily stood up to her father, she realized she was strong enough to face her fears. She knew she didn't need her father's protection, and she was ready to start a new life with Jack. Emily felt a sense of empowerment and freedom. As they rode off into the sunset, Emily and Jack started a new life together. They built a beautiful home and started a family, free from the past. Emily knew she had found her happily ever after with Jack. As they settled into their new home, Emily and Jack felt a sense of peace and contentment. They worked together, building a life filled with love and laughter. Emily knew she had found her perfect match in Jack. As they settled into their new routine, Emily and Jack felt a sense of comfort and familiarity. They worked together, enjoying each other's company. Emily realized she had never been happier. As they looked to the future, Emily and Jack knew they would face challenges together. They were ready to face whatever came their way, knowing they had each other. Emily felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. As Emily faced her fears, she realized she was stronger than she thought. She knew she could overcome any obstacle, as long as Jack was by her side. Emily felt a sense of empowerment and confidence. As they looked back on their journey, Emily and Jack knew their love would last a lifetime. They had faced challenges and overcome obstacles, and their love had grown stronger. Emily knew she had found her soulmate in Jack, and she was grateful for every moment they spent together.